Hey there, this is Sinus bringing you Hanabi variant of the day number 11, Omni and Prism. So these are two suits that we have seen in various forms in other variant of the day. We've definitely seen Prism before. Omni we have only seen as dark Omni cards. So as a reminder, Prism, each rank changes colors. So in this particular variant, 1 is red, 2 is green, 3 is blue, and then it repeats to red and green again. And then Omni cards are touched by every color clue and every number clue. So let's get to it. This Omni is a tough variant for me personally, along with pink. Let's see, we get a green clue straight away, and this is just an absolute monster clue. So if you want, take a minute to pause the video and see if you can tell what's supposed to happen here. All right, so this is either Sinus has to entertain that this could be green 1, green 2, or green 3 based on the clue that Time Hoodie gave. So, fortunately, it is the best version of that, which is green 3. This is calling for Omni 1, blue 1, red 1, and green 1 all to play, and then for green 2 to play after that. So, Time Hoodie has given a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a 6 for 1 clue on turn 1, which is just insane efficiency. But it is going to take a while to resolve because Forehead has to play cards, 4 cards. So that's going to take at least, what, like 13 turns or something like that. Then Sinus gets blue, and fortunately the blue clue comes from Newson, who has the other copy of blue 2. So this definitely looks like blue 2 or Omni 2 at that point. But Sinus is fairly certain that this is going to be blue 2 and decides to continue the blue cards here. Oh, and Sinus actually has negative Omni 2 here because we got green and then we got blue. So all of these cards are known not to be Omni because none of them were touched twice by both color clues. Yep, so this is definitely blue 2, and Sinus gives this. Now the problem with the blue clue here is that there's also technically a blue 3 on finesse, because all these ones are finessed, this 2 is finessed. So this looks like blue, it could be blue 4 even. So 3s might have been a little bit better here. So if Sinus were to give 3s to Time Hoodie instead, this looks a lot more like blue 3 rather than blue 4. And then somebody else could give 4s, and those 4s would tell Time Hoodie to play blue 4 eventually. It would also save this green 4, and it would let Time Hoodie know that this is an Omni card. So I think that's probably would have turned out a little bit better. But I think the blue clue was expected from Newson here. Omni 1 plays. Time Hoodie sees that this is the only one that isn't already picked up. And then we get this 4 clue, which now Time Hoodie said in the review, Time Hoodie knows nothing at this point. This could be a fixed clue to move this 4 over the focus of this blue clue over to here instead. Time Hoodie has no idea what's going on. The rest of us can pretty clearly see that this was meant to be a 4 clue that's continuing the green. But man, it could be a lot of stuff. And so Time Hoodie is thoroughly confused by this. Sinus is going to play Prism 1. There's blue 1. And now Time Hoodie has a locked hand here. So Time Hoodie is allowed to save any card on chop with priority. So this is a locked hand save on Sinus. And getting that 3 is pretty good. Sinus now that this blue one is played, blue 2 is playable, which is great. That other first finesse continues, and now we get to Time Hoodie's turn, and Time Hoodie is in trouble, right? So Time Hoodie knows that they have blue 4 in here somewhere, right? Based on the 4's clue and whether it's a fix or not. So Time Hoodie views this as the safest thing to do is to give this blue clue, which is an unknown trash discharge, which calls for Newson's third untouched card here, which is blue 3. And so we dupe blue 3 in doing this, but Sinus should know that this is trash based on the fact that the discharge slot played. And so there we are. Green 1 plays, that's good. And now Time Hoodie spent a good amount of time thinking about this, but the fact that this blue 5 is drawn is kind of a godsend. This can no longer be blue 4, blue 5 with, any kind of confusion in there. This is almost certainly blue 3, and if it's Prism 3, somebody needs to slap Sinus for giving that clue. So blue 3 discards, that's fine. Green 2 plays, and finally the clue that was given on turn 1, this green 3 is eligible to play. Now we have kind of an issue here. Sinus wants to get as many Omni cards played as quickly as possible. And so ideally, it would be great if we can clue this Omni 4 to get Omni 2 and Omni 3. I think the only way to legally do that is with a blue clue, which is just confusing and definitely does not work in this situation. So Sinus tries to give this as 4. This is definitely not going to be mistaken as blue 4, but it might look like a positional on forehead. They just don't really know what to do with this. And so forehead, without knowing what color this 4 is or what to do with it, says, oh, I also want to get these Omni cards. And so they tell Time Hoodie to pick up this card. Fine. And Time Hoodie has a known blue 4 to play. So this one clue tells Omni 2 to play. And it's at this point that Sinus should be trying to fix this, but there's not really a great way to do it, I don't think. Oh, wait, yes there is. The clue. It's probably 3 or 5. I think they said 3 or 5 to make sure that this is known as an Omni card and to keep it from discarding to fix it. But instead, Sinus over trusts here, and really, I made the mistake here, right? This isn't going to play as Omni 4. It's going to cause something else to play. And so Forehead took that 4 as a positional on themselves in order to play. And so unfortunately we lose Prism 3, which could be really bad for us. But it turns out okay. Omni 3 plays, and okay, so this is blue 5. This is now known to be Omni 4 for certain. Sinus doesn't have anything to do right now. I guess Sinus could be giving red, maybe. There we go. This is a great clue. Probably my favorite of the game. So this is an unknown trash discharge, right? Sinus could look at these and say, oh, is that red 2 or Prism 2? I'll have to wait till my turn and play it and see. But Nuisance sees that this will bomb if they don't respond in some way. And so they are forced to play their discharge slot, which is great because this Omni 5 is just going to be an absolute monster to get out of Newson's hand otherwise. This is why discharges and ejections and charms are really powerful with suits that are touched by lots of different types of clues. And so Newson correctly responds with a discharge. That tells Sinus that this card is trash and that whenever you get an unknown trash discharge like this card is guaranteed to be trash, and this card is promised to be good. Sinus sees that there are no more Omni cards to play, so this is assured to be either Prism 2 or Red 2, and this should be trash, so Sinus plays. And then Forehead gives 2 to Time Hoodie, and now this is confirmed, right? But Sinus already knew that ahead of time. This normally looks like a 2 save, but all the other 2s are played on the stacks, so this is Red 2. And the great thing is that all of these other cards, whether they are 2s or Omni cards, these are all trash now. So this green 4 never played because it could be just a myriad of different things. It could have been a fixed clue. It could have been tons of stuff. So now this is known not to be red 4, but it could still be Prism 4 maybe. Sinus plays red 3. And this is kind of a confusing play here. So I think that Forehead is expected to continue playing their 4 here, but they also have this 5 that's available, and rather than playing their 4 priority into Newson's red 5, the blue 5 plays, which is really weird, and so Time Hoodie suspects that they have a card on finesse that should also be playable, and they do. And Newson should probably also glean the fact. So normally this doesn't prio anything, right? Normally you play 5s before you play 4s, but the fact that this 5 plays and then another card plays after it should tell Newson that there's potentially a red 5 in their hand that connects to this, which is really cool. So that was a really clever play to get that without having a clue. So let's see. This 5 is interesting. So we are at a really, really good pace. We have a lot of turns and a lot of draws left and everything. Normally, when you give a 5 1 away from chop, this looks like a chop move. And so this is intended as a play clue, right? So this 5 is calling for Prism 4 here, is what it's trying to do. But Sinus sees that this might be interpreted as a chop move, and so Sinus interpreted this clue as a bad chop move ejection, which causes green 4 to play. Now, that wasn't what was intended at all. Sinus has known trash here. Sinus can just discard. And the thing is, as you can tell from the trash can symbol on this card, this could only be a 1 or a 2. And all the 1s and 2s are long played. This should be evidently not a chop move without Sinus playing the ejection. And so, it should be instead interpreted as a play clue where a finesse is called for. Either way, and Newson clarified this, it doesn't matter if Sinus plays that green 4 or not as a part of this. What is important is that cards get played, and they do. Unfortunately, Time Hoodie doesn't have any clues left. Maybe this plays off of the Prio from a while back. Um, but let's see, what is this card playing as? I can't remember what this card played as. But oh, I know what this is. This is, if this is red 5, then it plays on the stacks. If it does not play as red 5, this is a positional bomb. This is calling for Sinus and Forehead to both play slot 2. So this was bad on my part. So this is intended to get both of these cards, and it's perfectly safe for Newson to do this because the only card that could bomb in this situation is red 5, and it would play successfully. So this is intended to get both of these to play. Just it's really cool endgame tech, but obviously I missed it. So Sinus is trying to give a positional on Prism 2, but never mind. It just looks like a trash push, and Sinus screwed everything up here. It was bad. Oh wait, okay. Here's Prism 4. That's fine. Sinus is like, okay, here's Red 5. We have tons of clues left. Everything's gonna be okay. And there's Green 5, and we won that one. I think that one took us 3 tries with various group members. Omni is it's tough for me. But anyway, really happy that we got a 25 on that one. It was a little bit challenging. There was quite a bit of tech in there. Some of it that was played correctly, some of it was played incorrectly. But overall, I think it was a pretty good game. And poor time hoodie. This green 4 that was clued eons ago. And it just waited until the end of the game to find out what that was. Anyway, that one was fun. I learned a lot about it, and Hanabi can be hard. We'll see you next time.